Good morning. It's Saturday, but it feels like Monday, which is sad. I need to look up our Publix app and see when our ad ends. But with me not knowing when Kevin's actually going to return from work and back to civilization, I guess I can't really start a Publix list. I can start stuff that we're missing, but I can't start like a sales list. I think that we can like get by with what we have. Anyhow, like I was saying, I feel like we can get by with like what we have here at the house probably for like the next week, at least, like week's worth of meals. I've got meat in the deep freeze. We've got one meal left. I think it's, yeah, we have one meal left that I plan to cook today. The recipe seems really easy. I actually made it for Kevin's stepdad once, and I gave it a 5-star rating. It said super easy and delicious. So takes 7 hours on low. It doesn't actually have to be done at any certain time because Kevin won't be home till late. So he'll be eating like heated up leftovers anyhow. So it's mainly just like me figuring out when I want to eat dinner. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'll probably start it during Luca. Let me check the meat real quick. But I'll probably start it during Luca's first nap, and then that way it takes 7 hours on low. I don't know if I mentioned that part. So that way it'll just be done like, I don't know, a little early, but I'm always down for an early dinner. So I'm just gonna have my coffee and figure out what I'm gonna do for Luca for breakfast. Oh, I have egg and blueberries. Oh, O'Reilly's. 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 Auto parts. O'Reilly's. 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 Auto parts. Who's that? O'Reilly's. Welcome. Excuse you? Welcome back to my tiny kitchen. So, Luca is in his crib. He should be taking a nap here soon. He's just kind of getting comfy. I have to give Key her tax, her cat tax. This kid. We have lunch meat dedicated for this cat. Otherwise, she'll just stand in here and get underneath your feet and scream at you if you don't pay the key tax for being in the kitchen. So, I want to go ahead and start. Ooh, I hope our onion is good. Okay, cool, yeah, still good. I want to go ahead and start dinner because it takes, I can't wait to have a fridge that closes all the way. Dinner takes 7 hours. I also have the mic on a different setting, so I'm hoping, actually, let me make sure it sounds good. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that it was actually recording, like, sound, because one time I clicked the mic thinking that I would put it on denoise, which is what I think I have it on now, to see what the difference is, but one time I clicked it on denoise and I muted it, and I just filmed the whole clip of silence. I was talking, but it was not recording. So now it's like triggered in my head. All right, so yeah, this takes 7 hours on low because you want to make sure like the meat stays tender, that it's just like deliciousness. So we're about to start this as I watch Luca on his monitor. And then once he does finally fall asleep, I'll put it in his app that I track that. But I'm hoping, this seems pretty like straightforward and easy, so I'm hoping that it's going to be straightforward and easy. All right, so I'm gonna drop Luca's monitor down a little bit, and we're going to, oh, okay, I did not, oh, yeah, we're good. I did not know that I have to start this on the stovetop. I kind of forgot about that. So it's a good thing that I'm doing it now. All right, so we need to chop up a decent amount of this onion. So let's get this chopped. So we've got our onion chopped. I'm gonna try to put y'all on the trash can so then I can tilt y'all into my bowl. Wow, okay, this may work amazingly. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and turn this on a 7. I'm gonna get out my pre-minced garlic. I have 2, oh, okay, that one's not open yet. I was about to say, oh no, I have 2 pre-minced garlics that are open, but I lie. So I need 3 to 4 cloves of garlic, which honestly, we like a lot of garlic. Yeah, that should be fine. All right, so we finished up our 1 garlic, and then we're going to take our onion that we just cut, bring it over, and also put it in. All right. I need to grab a little, get that away from the burner. Hello? Oh, why is the bottom of my pot? Oh, BRB. Hold please. I think I set my pot on some cooking spray that was on my stove, and then it got on the bottom of my pot. That's the other thing that I want new of. Okay, is this gonna be okay? Okay, back corner, back to 7. I think I got it off. So that's the other new thing that I would like to get once we move. A new pots and pans set. I've been looking at them online and I can't figure out which exact ones I want. Dude, Luca is just laying in his crib. He was so tired when we were in the back room, and he was falling asleep in my arms when I took him to his room, and then I laid him in the crib, and now he's just wide awake. Freaking nap strike. Okay, yeah, the pot seems to be okay now. So yeah, I want new pots and pans eventually when we move, but it probably won't be right off the bat. We're going to brown that, and then okay, I do need beef broth, but I need cream of mushroom soup. I need a brown gravy mix, which is right here. I had Kevin pick up. Oh, and our beef broth. So it says add that to a bowl. So I'm just gonna add that to our pot. I'll just take it off the heat when I add all that stuff in. And then it should be fine. Okay. So I'm gonna let that brown a little bit more for a second. I'm also gonna need to cut up my meat. I don't know why, for like a brief second, I thought I was gonna have to also brown the meat, but I'm thinking of a different recipe. I'm also really hoping that this is a really good flank steak, because one time I made this and I made it with beef tips, and it was not good. It was not good because the beef tips were tough. I hate tough meat. I'm going to remove it from the heat here in a minute, and then we're going to add in our cream of mushroom soup. So you need a whole can of that. You're going to need 1 packet of brown gravy mix, and then I think it's 1 cup. Yeah, 1 cup of beef broth. And I usually get beef broth that's in like a box, like the boxed beef broth. But when I was doing my Publix shop this last time, I saw that this specific beef broth was buy one, get one, and I've never used canned beef broth. So I thought, you know what? It's probably going to be way better. It's a smaller amount since I only need 1 cup for this recipe. Those box beef broths are huge. This is good. So I'm going to pull it off the heat. Turn the heat off and make sure you guys can see, which you can. All right, so I'm going to let that kind of like cool for a second, and we are going to come over here, and while I let that cool, I'm going to cut my meat. I'm like, where could I put you guys? Am I about to stick you in the sink? I am. This is 1.5 pounds of flank steak. All right, so with flank steak, you want to cut it across the grain. So our grain is running this way. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but it's the little white lines. So you want to cut it across that. Oh, geez. And that's supposed to keep it like soft. Unless you're cutting it into bite-sized pieces, then you can cut it with the grain. But like your big cuts, you want to do across. So get out a sharp knife, and hopefully, I'm really hoping this is tender. So I like to cut mine in bite-sized pieces just so it's already like ready to go when it's cooked. And when it cooks down, these pieces will kind of like get even smaller. Okay, I love having you all in the sink, but now I've realized how am I supposed to wash my hands, so I'm gonna have to move you, but this is all we had to do for over here, so that works. All right, I am back after I washed my hands. Now we are going to go ahead and add the rest of our, like, what do I want to call this? Like the sauce together. So we're gonna need 1 can of cream of mushroom soup. And make sure that we get all of it out. Now we're going to need to pop open our beef broth. Should I shake this? I'm gonna give it just a little shake. And we need 1 cup of beef broth. So yeah, that works. All right, 1 cup of beef broth. And I love that because not much is left in this can. And then we're going to need our brown gravy mix. So I just got the Publix brown gravy. Hold on, Luca fell asleep, so let me put it in his app. All right, so I just used the Publix brown gravy mix. That took him, oh my God, he's moving again. I'm like, it's been 25 minutes since I've put him down. So this is gonna be an interesting nap. It says we want to whisk this together, so I'm going to grab my whisk. The only whisk I have I'm gonna leave this out, I think. The only whisk I currently have is a metal whisk, and I remember you guys saying how much you hate metal on metal sounds, so I'm going to speed this part up and so you guys don't have to hear it. All right, so essentially you just wanted to incorporate all of that together. So I'm trying to think, do I want to use a Crockpot liner? I think I'm actually not going to use a Crockpot liner for this meal. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, but I've noticed the Crockpot liners sometimes leave a weird aftertaste. So yeah, I'm just not going to. Let's move you guys again. All right, so now we're just going to scoop our meat into our crock pot. So I'm just gonna make sure that this is kind of like an even layer. This does not seem like a lot of meat, but that's okay. I'm gonna add a lot of broccoli to this eventually. All right, and then our last step is to grab our sauce we just made and pour that over the top. I left my spatula out so I could scrape and make sure that I got every last bit. Sorry if I'm blocking your view. So that is all of our sauce. I'm gonna give this a quick stir. It's already smelling delicious. All right, and we are going to pop that on low. I'm gonna grab my lid and we're gonna go ahead and lid it up. Let this go. I'm gonna set a timer on my phone real quick for 7 hours so I do not forget. 7 hours has been added on a timer. At the 7-hour mark, it says, well, my recipe says to remove all of the meat so it makes it easier to stir the liquid that's in there. And then we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. You're gonna mix it up and that's gonna thicken your liquid. And then after you mix the liquid up, then you add your beef back and cook for 5 more minutes and then dinner is done. So now I'm going to clean up the kitchen. This has never happened to me before, but I always make sure that my crock pot is actually like heating up and like going. I've never like set it and it not heat up and go, but it's just like a fear of mine that I like turn it on and it never actually turns on, like it's broke or something. I've had this crock pot for about 5 years now, so and it's very like just has a knob, that's it. So I don't know why, but I have like crock pot PTSD for some reason. So anyhow, I'm going to go out in the garage and take a look at the entertainment center because I saw something on Facebook this morning that intrigued me a little bit, and I'll tell you in a second. Okay, so what I saw on Facebook that kind of intrigued me and made me think like, should I do that to this? Now, I feel like I maybe do, but I don't know. So what I saw, let me flip you all around. I know that I want to paint these black. Like I know that much. But when I was originally looking at built-ins to do at our house, I wanted this part to be left wood. Like, I wanted it to look like it was a like butcher top almost. But what I'm wondering is, I'm not a fan of like this golden brown, I don't think. So what I'm wondering is, Kevin told me yesterday that this is literally just wood that's been stained. And my question is, when I start sanding it, what is it going to look like? can I get it down to more of a birchy color wood, like a light wood, because like I said, I'm not a fan of like let me let the plane pass. I'm not a fan of like this honey, but I am a fan of this, which I believe is what is underneath this color. I think they just stained it to make it look like this. So I'm like, if I could even get it back to this color, which is different than this one, it's like an in-between almost, I would be happy, I think. So envision, I can put in a photo of like what I saw and what made me go, oh yeah. But envision everything black, different hardware. I think I'm gonna get different like drawer pull. We're gonna do a little revamp, but I'm really wondering if I can get this, just this top part on all of the pieces down to this. And I think I would start with this one to see what I can do and what I can get it down to, and then just rough up all of the rest of it. The hardest part to rough up is going to be this like textured area, but I think I can do it. I think it's going to be okay. It's going to take a little bit of extra work, but I'm very excited. I like this because it looks kind of gothic-y. I just realized I'm gonna have to paint the inside of this too, because the inside of the shelves and stuff are gonna be painted to make it match. Oh, look how easy it is to take the glass out. So if I wanted to put new glass in, I absolutely could. That's exciting. I'm gonna leave this glass in for the time being, but like while I'm painting and stuff, I'll be able to take the glass out. I have all of that stuff that we went over in the bag yesterday, all that sanding stuff and the hand sander. I have that because I sanded down Luca's bedroom furniture that I inherited. And that's what I have all that stuff left over. The first piece of furniture I sanded down is actually a piece of furniture that we're keeping from our bedroom. And it is a dresser that I got from someone else. And I wish I got it at an estate sale. I wish I had the before photo of what it looked like, because I can't even remember. But I think it looked kind of like this stain, like this finish. And I was able to get it down to like a beautiful wood. Well, I think it's a beautiful wood. It's just a very raw wood, but it's kind of like what I would like these tops to get down to. But like I said, I can't remember if it looked like this when I bought it or what it looked like. So anyhow, I used the hand sander on that one, and I don't remember if it was like how loud it was. And I plan to work on this during Luca's nap times. He is on the other side of the house in our garage, but I think I remember the hand sander being hella loud. So I don't want to do it by hand, like, but I may. Let's actually grab one and see if we can, like one of these ones. So it's already getting down to a different color. But I'm thinking for this top, probably roughing everything up, I wouldn't have to use the hand sander. But I'm thinking to get the top down to where I want it to be, I am going to have to use the one that I plug in. But I think like as far as like roughing up the furniture for paint, I think I'll be able to do it with this. It's just going to take some time, a little bit more time than the hand sander. But like I said, since I'm doing it during Luca's naps, rough it up like that. All right, well, that's exciting. And then Kevin isn't supposed to work on my birthday. We'll see. But maybe I'll come out here. Oh, sorry. I just knocked the microphone. Maybe I'll come out here on my birthday and like work on it with the hand sander or sometime that weekend, depending if he has the whole weekend off or he just has my birthday off. But in between then, I can work on it with the sander and just scuff it up. All right, so Luca is up from his first nap. We've been playing in the back room. That was a big piece. we are trying something new for lunch today. I think he likes it. So I try to do research on what I give Luca for food. So for like pre-made pouches, we shop at Publix currently. Once we move, we might be changing where we shop, just depending on how long it takes us to get to the closest Publix. I think it's pretty far away from us, so we may be shopping somewhere else. And when we cross that bridge, we'll cross that bridge. But I do my research of what is available to us at Publix, so I can add some stuff onto the list to pick up for him when we do our shopping for days like today. I had pizza left over, so I wasn't sure what I was gonna give Luca for lunch. So I picked these up, or I had Kevin pick these up from Publix, and it's the Kid Fresh brand. So what he's having right now are chicken meatballs, which are chicken meatballs with a blend of veggies. So yeah, these, oh, is it good? These meatballs have onion, celery, carrots, and chicken. Pretty clean. They are good. So I got these for him, and this is the first day that we're trying them. I'm gonna try one. I tossed them in our red sauce that I had left over from our lasagna the other night. Yeah. I swear to God, everything from that brand is so freaking delicious. I don't even understand, like, how. So I just tossed his in 1 tablespoon of that red sauce straight from the fridge. So I took him out, cut them into fourths, tossed them in the red sauce, and the coldness from the red sauce being in the fridge helped cool them down a little bit faster. I hurried up and ate my lunch, so then when I brought him in here, I could just kind of like watch him, since it was his first time having these. I made him 5 meatballs, which was 20 pieces, which may be too many, but I figured sometimes he can really eat. Sometimes he really can throw some food down. Is it good? Mmm. Luca is currently big mad that I put him in his little play center while I come in here and finish dinner. Oh. You hear him being a little upsetty spaghetti, that's what's happening. Adding in our broccoli. That way, what is this, Publix? Just like broccoli stock? This is one of those broccoli bags that's ready to go, which I love. I love not having to do anything. So I'm dumping this in, and then I'm gonna give it a mix. Let's see, another just broccoli stock. Put in these little tiny pieces. I'm gonna give it a mix so the broccoli can get coated. It's looking good. It's definitely not thick enough, but the cornstarch will fix that. Now, because I decided to add broccoli to this versus how I did it last time, which I don't think I added any broccoli last time. I think I just made a vegetable on the side. It's going to be much harder to take everything out to thicken the, the sauce. So when it's time to add the cornstarch, I'm just going to add it in and try to mix it the best I can, and that should be fine. But I really want the broccoli to cook in here on low for about 45 minutes before it's done. So Now the broccoli's incorporated. I just wait 45 minutes and then it's gonna be ready. So that means that I also need to probably go ahead. I said I wanted to make rice with this instead of noodles today. So I probably need to go ahead and get my rice maker out because my rice maker takes about 30-ish minutes to cook my rice. So for every 1 cup of rice, you do 2 cups of water. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this for white rice and let that cook, and then dinner will be ready. All right, my rice is smelling delicious. It is almost done. So I'm getting out my cornstarch, getting out my tablespoon thing, and just making sure it is tablespoon. TBS. TBS. Does that confuse anybody else, or is it just me that gets confused about tablespoons and teaspoons? It's probably just me. All right. So I'm gonna try to dump this right here in the middle. All right, and then I'm gonna try to mix this in. Hopefully it will thicken this up a little bit to more like a gravy, so it's not so liquidy. But it's looking like this flank steak was a good flank steak because some of the flank steak has like already flaked apart. So I'm hoping that's gonna mean that it's super tender. Now we just let it cook for like, probably I'll let it go till my rice is done. And then once my rice finishes up, then I will turn it off and take the lid off and maybe let it sit with the lid off for just a small amount of time, and hopefully that'll help thicken it up too. All right, rice is done. Crockpot is off and lid is off. Let's see how it's still a little not as thick as I would like it to be, but honestly, I think that might be as good as we're getting it. And I'm fine with that. With rice, the rice is gonna soak it up, so I'm not too concerned. All right, while Luca is happy in the back room for a second, I went ahead and pulled out some food for him to cool and made myself a quick bowl, looking good. Took some photos for my Instagram, which I need to update my Instagram. Oh, I think I'm gonna need some more juice. I need to update my Instagram for my recipes because I'm a little behind on it. Doing my best to keep everything updated. All right, let's try. Oh yeah, this meat is just falling apart, so. That's good. It's giving me like comfort food. It's giving me a little bit of Chinese vibes, but not as Chinese vibes as I would like. The broccoli, the best part. It's good, but I'm wondering like what I could do to change the recipe up a little to make it more Chinese tasting. I'll have to think about it. You know what? I'll have to go back to my Instagram. This is why the Instagram's good. I'll have to go back to my Instagram, scroll to when my mom and I made like a Chinese recipe, because we used to make like lo mein all the time. I'm gonna pull that recipe, see if I can follow it, write down notes, and I'm gonna try to make that here soon. Because I'm just like, I've been craving Chinese lately, but anytime I go and I actually get Chinese, it's so salty. I'm just like dying from like thirst for 2 days afterwards. This is good, this is delicious. And it's even a little bit cold in Florida today. I say it, Alicia's gonna laugh at me for that. Let's see. It's 61 right now. I went out and I got the mail and it felt a little chilly with the wind, but this is amazing. Luca's first time having flank steak. At first he was a little unsure about it. Now he seems to be enjoying it. He's unsure about the broccoli. I'm not sure that I've ever given him like broccoli in that form where I've just kind of like torn it apart for him. So we'll see how he does. I never updated y'all how he did, but he ended up eating like a decent amount of it. He ended up trying the broccoli and really liking the broccoli, but I have put him down. He is kind of down and out right now. He keeps moving, but I think he's gonna be like completely asleep here soon. Kevin is on his way home, which is exciting. So when Kevin gets home, he's gonna have dinner, and then we're probably gonna hang out for a little bit before we go to bed. And then my grandma is coming over tomorrow, so I feel like I haven't seen her in so long. Our schedules just haven't been like matching up lately, so it's gonna be nice to spend the day with her tomorrow, and I can show her the entertainment center and she can see what Luca has learned since the last time that she's seen him, which I feel like is so much, even though it's only probably been like 2 weeks since she's seen him. So yeah, I will catch up with you guys tomorrow. Toodles.